I love these kind of things. I'm always nosy and curious to see what people have lying about their bookshelves and desks and things like that. And Will Chambers has created a really wonderful little tag called the Curio Tag, where he encourages people to show off or uh, share with us some of the curiosities, and things they have lying around. Hello, everybody. Welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark, and welcome to this rather unusual tag video. I haven't done a tag video for a while, and I thought this would be a fun one to do. And it doesn't really, of course, require much in terms of preparation and going through all the books you've read to come up with the answers. So that's partly why this particular one has appealed to me. As I said, the tag was created by Will Chambers, and you should go over, if you get the chance, to check out his channel and subscribe to him, because he has a wonderful channel, very interesting things that he talks about, and he's at the moment only got 48 subscribers, and I do think it would be wonderful if we could get him a couple more by doing this tag. I will tag a couple of people towards the end. He's tagged quite a few. And of course, if I don't tag you and this appeals to you, then I do encourage you to do it as well, to kind of help as well with the growth of Will's channel. And the idea is to just pick a couple of things off your bookshelves or even your desk, I guess, that you can regard as curiosities or curios or sort of trinkets and things that you might have lying around. Now, I would have more of this if I was doing this from England, and I would have some probably maybe more valuable and maybe more interesting ones, but unfortunately I don't have them with me. Still, I'm very happy with what I have got, and some of them have, of course, a lot of personal value and nostalgic value to them, or they mean something, or they carry particular memories and that kind of stuff. So I've got a few to go through, and I hope they're kind of of interest to you. Let's start off with a couple of the more modern ones, more recently acquired ones. Now, probably the most recently acquired one is this little thing, and it's special to me because it was actually given to me by a child that I teach at school, or taught at school, sadly, because actually this year was his last year at the school, but I taught him from the 5th grade, and he's now just left in the 9th grade. So I guess I taught him from age 10 or 11 up through to age 15. And in my first year, he was, when he was little, he was a very sweet boy. He still was nice, of course, when he got older. But as teenage years roll in, things change. But he always wanted to sit next to me on the bus, and he spoke, and he speaks very good English. He's very good at English. And he went on a family holiday to Egypt, and he brought me back this little thing here, if you can see it. I know I don't like the way, of course, it focuses on my face rather than this thing, but it's cute. It's a little sarcophagus of a pharaoh there. And what I like about it is it actually it opens up, so you can take off the top of the sarcophagus, and then inside there is actually, like, I don't know if you can see that there. There is a mummy. I wish it would zoom in on that rather than me, but I don't know how to, as I cover my face. And the mummy, does come out there. Won't zoom in, but it's half wrapped in muslin or whatever, and then it can go back into its little sarcophagus there. And I think that was really cute, and I have to say I was bowled over by it, really. And of course these things mean something to you, I think, when you get them. The other thing, one of the other things I'll mention, is actually something I picked up on my own travels. Now, it was before I moved here, so it was around 11, 12 years ago that I first came into contact with Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chinese classic here. And it was partly through a film called Red Cliff. A fantastic film if you ever get a chance to see it. Actually, 2 films, although I think they edited it down into 1. But if you can watch both parts separately, it's well worth it. And I watched it and I thought it was great. So I actually went off to China on holiday, and I went with a friend of mine back to her home area of Chengdu, And while we were there, they had all sorts of historical stuff lying around. And one of my favorite character from this film was a character called Guanyu. And while I was there, I was able to actually find a statue of him, which I brought back. It's actually quite heavy, and he's famous for having this kind of red face. I believe he kind of was a man who I think became a god, and he's revered, I think, as kind of the god of war, or a god of war, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe also of gangsters. I'm not sure, but I do think it's pretty cool. And he's got his weapon there behind his back that he would pull out and use when needed. But to me that's cool because it's got the kind of memories that go along with the trip, and it's also linked to something bookish. Now, something else I have, which I've had for a very long time, probably close on to 30 years, we went on a family holiday around Scandinavia, and we visited the Viking Museum in Norway, and I picked this up. I don't know if you can see it. It's the front of I see now it's zooming in. It's the front of a longship. It's very heavy. It's made from metal, and it's actually a pen stand. And I'll just use a pencil because I have one to hand. You just stick it in this hole there, and it sits on my desk, and I can pull out the pen or the pencil whenever I need it. And again, it's a reminder of my childhood and stuff that I've done in the past. So I think that's kind of nice as well. And then I guess I have a few things family related that have been lying around in boxes. I have this kind of, I don't know how old it is. It's probably from the early 20th century, but it's this little thing here, which is a collection of magnifying glasses. And you can open it up, and you can see the different glasses and things in there, the different strengths and whatnot. Oh, you can see already through it. Look at that. So that's kind of cool as well, and it's nice when it's something that has some kind of sentimental value. That's what I was looking for. And something else that's got sentimental value as well, because it belonged to my late grandfather. Now, not very perhaps PC these days or popular these days, and that's kind of smoky memorabilia. He was a big smoker, and particularly in later years, a pipe smoker. And he had this kind of really nice stand, and I've still got it with his pipes on it. And what amazes me, he passed away back in 1986, and so they haven't been smoked since. Now, I do think they may have been chewed, probably by me, because I would maybe play around with them. But what's funny for me is that actually, it's close on 40 years ago, and they still have that smell, the remnants of the tobacco, which actually I have to say is quite a nice smell that he would have smoked. It's still got a kind of vaguely cherry kind of, I don't know, it's quite pleasant. It's not like horrible cigarette smell, but it is amazing that after all these years it has it. And what I find funny as well is that it's actually got stamped on the bottom here, which I would have thought maybe it would have been somewhere else, but it actually has stamped on the bottom there, if you can see it, made in Japan, which is kind of cool, really, because it's something that looks, I guess, very English, but it was actually made in Japan. And then the last thing I've got is I have this quite nice bamboo box, which I've shown on the channel before. In fact, I've probably shown a few of these things before, but it was back when my channel was also very small, and perhaps some of you haven't seen it. And of course, your lives will be richer for having seen these wonderful things. But it's a nice bamboo box here with some kind of lacquer work. But it's what's inside. Now, the box itself comes from my other grandfather, this time my paternal grandfather. And probably he picked it up in his time in Burma during the Second World War, in India and Burma. And it slides off like this. And what he's done is he's actually kept, I guess, some of his own memorabilia and things inside that, belonging to him and to my great grandfather, his father. And if you can see there's a few things. which are kind of cool because so there's some like cat badges. I suppose I don't know whether they're his or whether they're from. They're probably actually they're from my great grandfather who was in the First World War. So it's some cat badges there, and he was stationed over in Egypt and that kind of theatre rather than the Western Front. So there's a few of those in there. And then there are all my grandfather's sporting medals and things that he would have got, which, is kind of cool because he was a very sporty person. You wouldn't know it from looking at me. But they're, I guess, athletics, footballing medals and that kind of thing. Let me pull out a couple to show you. So, there's some kind of international cup winner here. Oh, intermediate cup winner here, sorry. From 1938, I think. I don't know if you can see that. Sadly not. There we go. But what's nice about them as well is because in those days they really are silver, yeah. So it's not, it's not fake or plastic. And he was, here's one from the 1934-1933 season. I don't know what HMCC, and then it has RU, whether that's a rugby medal or something like that. But again, because he was from Hertfordshire, it has, let's see if that will zoom in. So that's pretty cool. And again, it's silver. I won't go through all of them because it will, it won't be particularly exciting. But there are a few other little things. I mean, there's some kind of lapel pin here with an aircraft on it, and that's because he worked. If it will zoom in on that, will it? I don't know, probably not. But he worked for British Airways in the early days. I wouldn't say necessarily the early days of aviation, but even there's like a little. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it has British European Airlines on it, which again is kind of cool. And then a few other things belonging to my great grandfather. Again, actually it's kind of funny because he's got his prefect badge in there from I guess grammar school. I don't know if that won't zoom in, will it? No, this says sub prefect on it. And a couple of other things, as I say, from my great grandfather who was in the First War, and obviously wasn't in the Second, but he did do his bit, I suppose, because he was, if you can see here, an ARP warden, which had been one of those air raid wardens, shouting, "Put that light out," making sure that the people didn't, show light that could be seen by German bombers. And I've also got his, you can see here, his ARP whistle that he would have blown, one, telling people to put their lights out, or I suppose if there was any help needed after any bombing or anything like that. So there we go. Those are a few of the kind of curiosities or trinkets and heirlooms, or things of my sentimental treasures, if you like, that I have lying around my bookshelves and my desk. And I hope it was of some interest to you, and I do hope as well, if you don't have a channel, that at least maybe you can mention some of the things that you might have lying around your bookshelves or on your desk and that kind of thing. And if you do have a channel, then I encourage you to make a video showing off yours, as well as supporting Will's channel. And as I said, I will tag a couple of people. I will tag Shelley Swearingen. I will tag Michael K. Vaughan. I will tag also Criminoli, Vin from Revenant Reads, and Carrie from Very Literary Carrie. I'm sure they've all probably got some cool and interesting curios lying around somewhere, and hopefully they will do it. Okay, everybody, do take care. Have a fantastic day. All the best from me. Bye bye.